which is of course on Cloud Kingdom. And let's get this underway, guys. As we do have in the top right, spawning as the blue Protoss is going to be ST.Squirtle. Going up against his opponent down here is the yellow Protoss, the yellow alien race, is LGIM.First. And the series is currently tied up. The winner will play Sting in a best of 5.
Guaranteed for a TVP.
Yeah, so that's going to be a nice little final for us, a best of 5 final. Well, let's see who's going to make it between these two guys. We'll see.
And thank you guys for joining us. Also, thank you to TSL. I believe, Paul, you're casting the actual finals itself, the tournament, right?
Yeah.
So that's a huge honor. Of course, Team Liquid overlooked me for that opportunity, so this is going to make this as awkward as possible. I feel really left out. It would have been nice, you know. No, I'm just kidding. It's obviously a huge honor to be here casting this as well. Good audience. Thank you guys. We've been following the thread.
The tweets have been funny. My tweet with the German little map was awesome.
That picture is freaking hilarious. And good games, you know. I love seeing the Korean play. Like, I'm actually not a big fan of all Koreans in LANs, but actually when I watch online, I prefer Korean players because they are playing the cutting edge StarCraft 2. This is the top-notch stuff. And we're seeing that here. These have been great games.
Yeah, it's like this kind of online tournament brings out the best of the Korean players compared to the GSL, I think, where they're a lot more prepared. They have design builds, and it almost is counter builds a lot of the time in the GSL, or counter style builds. But in this kind of scenario, when you're thrown into just, you know, a 200-player tournament, 120-player tournament, whatever it is, you have to play everybody, and there's no time to prepare. You just get thrown into game after game after game. So we are really seeing the true raw skill of both of these guys. Let's see if any shenanigans, anything crazy is going to happen in this game here. Of course, both of them playing so standard so far. A bit of an earlier Pro Scout, though, for First, who goes actually before the Cybercore. Goes after the second pylon.
Yeah, and that's... yeah, it was second pylon. So just slightly, like, it's still after Gateway. The old school thought process was you scout after Gateway, which is always 12. And I'll admit, I myself do that quite often, more often than not, but... I watch a lot of hero games from Team Liquid, an amazing Protoss player, and he actually always scouts after Cybernetics Core because you will get to your opponent's base and get back on a 1v1 map before a stalker ever pops out. So you'll get the same information, but you get the mine for a little bit longer. Yeah. The only danger there, of course, is if you're being proxy gated, or if your strategies depend on something like if you're facing 1 gas or 2, but those are things that of course, Hero has put into his decision-making calculus.
This time around with First, he's saved up the Chrono Boost up to 90 almost here, and he's definitely going to be using all Chrono Boost on these gateways most likely. Even though he does throw one into the Cybercore, and it was scouted here by the Pro, but he's still got basically 75 Chrono Boost available to go pew 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 pew, and go into the Stalkers. But let's see what Squirtle's going to do. Squirtle's got pretty good information. Throws down a Robo really fast here without any units. Zealot Stalker Robo. But with the opponent, ooh. Well, Twilight Cows, no additional units.
And the 2 gates is, this is shaping up to be a very standard opening. It could either be 2-gate Robo, or excuse me, Twilight Council expand, or it's 2-gate Twilight Council Robo, then 3rd gate, or even 4-gate sometimes.
With the amount of Chrono Boost saved up, surely wouldn't he be looking to throw down additional gateways potentially? Oh no, okay, so I was going to say I thought he could throw it all into the into Blink, but never mind. You're the pro.
You're the pro.
No man, I'm just the caster. Casters ain't got shit on you. All right, so we got the Robo coming down. And I sent you to follow this up. What is this going to be, though, for this very early Robo coming out with double gas available?
I think it's that Colossus thing. Well, okay, I was going to say, I mean, actually, I think he did Observer First last time.
Yeah, he did Observer First last time, and additional gateways, too.
Well, no, I mean, without the Robo Bay. Oh, Dark Shrine.
Wow.
Well, that ain't going to work. He's like, you know, it worked so great last year.
Yeah, that's not going to work out too well. Currently, he's building an Immortal again. Squirtle is this time around, and Sting, First. I was thinking about that sexy Terran player, man. Alright, Pylon has been put down.
In the classic spot, worth noting.
The Observer...
Yeah, the problem is here now, too, Observers build so freaking fast that, like, this Observer is going to get all the way over there. It's going to see the Dark Shrine Shrine's going to finish, and in the olden days, that'd be like, oh no, and the DTs are in your base. But now, he'll force field, he'll block the ramp, he'll get an Observer, and he'll be completely fine.
Yeah, so the Observer makes its way now into the base, and is going to pick up the Dark Shrine even before it finishes here, unless he turns around, which would be pretty crazy. He goes in, he checks, he sees, there's the Dark Shrine, and now he knows, and oh my god, cancel. Cancel on that, actually. That's pretty crazy that he got the cancellation on that structure. Did you see that? I think he got the cancellation there, thrown down on the robotics facility. That's interesting.
Why.
Yeah.
And then he goes with more gateways. I think he just...
he expands.
No, he expands. Interesting. Well, you know, the Robo suggests passive play. It has your opponent thinking, oh, okay, he's going to be defensive. But then if you cancel that, you're able to more easily afford an expansion and be aggressive. Like, well, there's the DT. Oh,
that's so sad.
Now the Stalker's like, what about us? No, not you either.
Oh, that was clean up nice and easy. So Squirtle has a natural advantage in this game. He's had tech advantage. He's got the little expo timing advantage too. In terms of everything else, he's looking okay. But first now it has to fall back on Blink. He's thrown down 2 extra gateways, go up to a total of 4.
Yeah,
he could power through.
Oh yeah, with Blink,
absolutely.
This is super strong. Actually, minus the Dark Shrine, this is the build that I think really messes up PvP, because basically it 100% dies to DT.
Yeah.
But against every other build, 5-gate expand Blink Stalker is advantaged. I mean, think about it. Phoenix still 5-gate Blink Stalker, Robo, any of that stuff.
Yeah. And now we're having a Robo come down a lot later on after these 4 gateways. A DT coming down. Wow, look at that. Squirtle. Wow, that's so smart with his observe. He's like, wait a minute. You don't have a Robo yet?
Some pretty serious mind games going on here. He's
Throws
just
down
now adding his...
Shrine.
Oh, look at this. He adds his Robo, he adds his Dark Shrine. It's like they're both determined to do failed DT pushes, like one after the other.
Yeah. But what this could be really smart for, because there's not going to be a second observer. And if he times this well, it's not going to work, because now the pylon's been scouted on the left-hand side. Never mind. I was going to say, if he times it really well, that he can get the DTs in there, because I don't think that First is, expecting DTs at like 10, 11 minutes or whatever, so it could be a nice little maneuver, but...
It's not what it used to be, and it's interesting. It was actually MLG Columbus that kind of shed light on DTs and PvP, but it used to be believed that it had to be all in if you go DTs, but nowadays it's like, no, you can go DT, and even if 1 or 2 of them fail, you still force them to make extra observers and keep 1 at home forever, so it's like dead weight on their side as well, basically. And as you said, if that observer's halfway across the map when DT show up, we cancel it.
Yeah, he's cancelled it.
Well, I'm just going to shut the hell up then.
Yeah. I guess that was a smart move, to be honest. I mean, he did see the robotics facility anyway, so... But right now, we have First at 6 gateways. Like, 6, man. It's a lot of gateways. That's a lot of units available to produce. No aggressive pylon, no aggressive probe. But what is he going to do with this?
Well, look at that. Is there anything... You said there's no probe out there?
No.
Then this is just... bad. I hate to be like that judgmental, but there's no reason not to have a probe out there dropping pylons or something.
Robotics Bay coming down as well, so a lot of gateways.
Like guard the home back at home.
But we do have Colossus on the way here, so eventually Squirtle's just going to outclass his opponent.
Yeah, Squirtle's just completely fine army-wise.
First should be looking surely to try and break his opponent down. He's got a high gateway count, but...
He's like, I would like to get shot by your immortals, please.
And Observer... from First, trying to see what's in the main, and now sees a split army. Absolutely no way he can try anything here. And now has to just go back and fall down on building his own Colossus and so on. Observer of Squirtle does get picked up in the main from First's Observer, but I don't think Squirtle gives a damn, man. He doesn't care if he's in the blind right now. He's getting +1. He'll probably go for +2 immediately as well, since he already has a Twilight Council of Blink. And there's no upgrades of his opponent. There's no Forge from his opponent, First.
Yeah.
This is not looking too good, man. Even though it's very equal in terms of army supply and overall supply in the end, but
Squirrel's army is much better.
Yeah,
it has, I think it's what, 3 immortals. 3 immortals. He's getting out earlier Colossus. You'll notice the range is pretty similar in timing actually. But here's a really cool thing that First is doing. He's getting a really fast second Robo. If you're later to the Robo punch, that's one of the best ways to leapfrog, and your Blink Stalkers can buy you that time. Because while Squirtle, I think if they were to fight all out right now, I think Squirtle would win. I really feel like the Blink Stalker scares him into submission. He's like, well, okay, I gotta stay back until I have enough to catch up to you as well.
Yeah. Oh man, just trying to think of what First can do. He's got double robotics facility down, so he's going to try to crank out the more Colossus count. He may actually turn that into a 2-base all-in here with +1. He could still expand. Yeah, he still could expand easily.
PvP looks funny. I mean, you basically you spend the entire game building an all-in.
Yeah.
Like it becomes it's a 2 base all-in. No, excuse me, it's a 1 base all-in into a 2 base all-in into a 3 base all-in into a 4 base all-in into a 5 base all-in. Like at any point in time, your army is supposed to be the sharpest knife in the drawer.
And if it isn't, it's over.
Yeah, we don't have like sentries that can get us past things like Marines or Marauders. We don't have a mothership vortex that scares them so much that they just won't touch us for a long time. And now with his own blink, he feels confident that he can move out because even if First tried to be like, okay, what about my blink stalkers? Well, his Squirtle's blink stalkers would catch up to him and kill him. The thing is, the time's been bought with that double robo. Look at the Colossus count. It's I bet it's very similar.
3-3, yeah. 3-3, and it's about to be 5-3 in a minute. But Squirtle does have +2 on the way, but it looks like he is gearing up for an expansion potentially here.
Upgrades are surprisingly not as important in PvP as you'd think. There's a lot of Kryn Protosses lately that are going double forward, so maybe that theory is going to be put to the test. But as it is, if it's like a 2-attack Protoss versus a 1-attack, the greater question will still be what's the position of those armies.
Yeah.
If one guy is a concave and his Colossus are stacking damage on your units / your Colossus, then that is the winning factor.
And I think First is going to turn this into this kind of 2-base push. I mean, he's got to probe gate up to take a third, but with his army value and the Colossus count, I think he could very easily take his opponent at the moment. But the question and the problem always remains the same. Can I attack up around? Can I get above my opponent's position? Which is the real difficult thing.
2 base into 3 base.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to look like the whole time. The coolest thing in PvP is when they get up to like 190 supply and they realize they need to make a bum rush for the mothership.
Yeah.
And what they do with that last 10 supply. They'll start loading up warp prisms, they'll drop zealots around. I've seen Protoss like Hero go Storm, so that for very little supply he's doing things like killing mineral lines and storming armies, feedbacking motherships, that kind of a thing. Really cool stuff happens in the last few chunks of supply. Up until then, it's here's the funniest thing, Apollo, it's all posturing into accidental fights sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, your army's here too? Let's do this. That's what it is. Like, they don't have information. They're just like...
It's just Colossus is like the thing within your army, and it's...
Yep.
And if you have position over your opponent, you can't fight. It's as simple as that, which is why I guess it kind of leans to be like this a little bit more often. DT making its way across, actually, for First on the left-hand side. Going to make its way to the third base. There's a cannon. There's a couple of zealots.
Templar, too.
Templar, too. Going to be like, we are your elders.
Love Storm Drop and what Hero is doing with this matchup. It's... Because nobody expects it, when the Warp Prism shows up, they're like, okay, those are zealots. And then Storm comes out and your whole mineral line's gone.
Look at this, though.
That's the accidental fight.
No,
not yet. I still want to make like 6 more Colossus. Like, fine, I'll do the same. We'll fight later.
With the Templar Archives coming down, we'll see if he's going to use Storm Drops or whether it would just be for the added...
I think it'll be just Archons. That's the standard. Hero's the guy that's kind of breaking the curve right now, as per usual. He always is reinventing himself, but also the matchup that he's playing. Now, what I really like here is that First starting to plant the seeds of destruction for later. He's dropping pylons around the map. That's what you really need to do. And to be quite honest, I know this is just one series, but Squirtle's been doing a very poor job of that, actually. It's pretty universal that as a Protoss, you want to have 4, 5, sometimes 6 pylons outside of your base as little supply centers. And Squirtle is very home-centric, you'll notice. There are a few pylons, but they're very much so on his half the map.
+3 attack, about to finish, 20 seconds away.
Brutal blinky, almost kills something.
Both of these guys going to finish their respective upgrades at the same time. And once again...
Squirtle, oh my god. You can't possibly think you could do that. Okay. You gotta be so careful about attacking.
He can get a position on his opponent down there. Oh, there's a pylon. Okay, I didn't see that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. First doing a good job. Of course, if you look at the map, it's just that one top left that's actually being aggressive. But it looks like Squirtle and First are lurching into position, and...
Only one cannon left on that third base of Squirtle here. If that DT goes in, snipes the cannon... Uh-oh. Ah! That's really annoying. First is going to get down. Go get the other cannon.
Careful about the potential big fight out there.
Okay, don't worry. I'm not observing.
Yeah, he's going for it. And why would you do this? Oh. I don't even know. I mean, if it works or if it doesn't work, it's so bold, and I can't see it working. First, he says, "You not goofed. Get the hell out of here, Squirtle." And Squirtle has his third disrupted by a DT.
Oh,
you know what this is? This happens all the time. He's like, I'm annoyed by that.
Yeah.
I need to attack and just end the game because a DT killed a cannon. Squirtle, I mean, we talk about burst damage. You saw what those Colossus did?
Yeah.
Like in 2 volleys, half the army of Squirtle was decimated.
Look at this, a DT and 5 Zealots walked in. He's going to do it again to that third base, and this may tip Squirtle off the scale here. And he is going to go in. And it's going to be rather annoying here for Squirtle to deal with. He doesn't really have the supply to deal with it. Warps in 2 more Zealots. The cannon is being made at the same time, but Squirtle is looking for an angle on the natural and immediately first moves across, ready to intercept, ready to accept. And the DT and Zealots, look at the Zealots do just about get cleaned up by this cannon.
Yeah, he lost the DT, which is... He's got to be careful. While it's a cool idea, he should have kind of recognized that he was being detected by an observer, not by a cannon.
Yeah.
And
you can do
got
it
to
again,
protect
though.
that gas.
Oh my god, look at that.
Yeah, it's great. It's good.
Yeah.
Look at his minerals.
Because he's forcing Squirtle to defend his third or attack, and he's doing both, but that's annoying him a lot.
Oh my, if he gets this concave, that's so brutal. This would be the best opportunity he could possibly ask for. I really still think the army at first is just super strong. Now notice the army of Squirtle is balled up. This is a super bad position, but he has a lot of archons. Is it going to make the difference? I don't think so. The Colossus is doing so much burst damage, and it looks like First is going to come out miles ahead. Who would have thought if you saw First versus Squirtle? What am I battling about? Is this actually...
Yeah, this is it.
This
is it. This is it, man. Hold on.
It's the Immortals. The Immortals tank that damage so good.
2 TTs in the mix, though. No observers. So he will get chased around. Great little hold, but at the same time, he's killed his third.
From being brutally... Apollo, I knew that was going to happen. I totally called
4
it.
DTs.
Saw the lack of detection, and I was like, oh yeah, okay.
And all of a sudden...
No. Just call that.
No, it's fine.
I was so surprised. The Archon did so much damage against those Zealots. Yeah, he's completely boned. His third's dropped. The fact is, even though he has a higher Colossus count, because his production's halted, look at that production tab. 2 Colossus are going to be constantly queued up for First, and he's going to be able to warp in continuously off the gateway.
Yeah.
That third base is such a big deal because the natural is mostly mined out now.
That was a great little pylon on the left-hand side by First. Just consistent waves of units, so cost efficient because he doesn't need to build an army. He's in defensive stance. Really, really, really nice move.
How about the DTs with the lack of detection? He's dead, man.
God damn it!
If he has detection, 6 Colossus don't die to anything you warp in. I'm sorry. And as it is right now, First is about to defeat runner-up for the Code season this past season, and that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's a really big win for him here. Really, really big win. And now we are going to have First just kind of seal the deal. Look at the raise of damage being done. Zealots with charges available as well. But right now, the bank and the income tells a big, big story here with 2 Immortals being made, 4 High Templar coming in, a bunch of Zealots as well. And Squirtle is looking to finish in top 4 here in the TSL4 qualifier with the remaining game.
Oh, he's got to be careful though. It's not over just yet, but I like what First is doing. He recognizes that with his third, he doesn't have to attack it. Time's on his side. A lot of burst damage done by those Colossus. Excellent control by Squirtle. He is getting some support from those Zealots and Archon, but quite frankly, he's just not getting support he needs. Zealots can run down Colossus, and every time those Colossus center step, they are now receiving fire. And First is going to pull back because he's saying, you know what, this is like dead even. I don't need a dead even fight because I'm miles ahead.
Yeah, he has a DT and probe scouting out his opponent. He's going to do more damage here. DT versus Zealot. DT, turn around, man. Okay, never mind. Probes.
Got that big fight at third. Still approaching. There it is.
GG. And we have First